Mi familia es cocinando. What are you making?
Pastelitos.
Are you making empanadas or are you making pastelitos?
Pastelitos.
Aren't they the same?
Not empanadas.
Are you sure that the debate is settled?
Comment if you think empanadas and pastelitos are the same thing, and if you consider the whole category as all empanadas, because some people do.
I'll tell you this right now. Alba's whipping up some pastelitos and she can cook. She can cook.
Yeah, but there's seeds in it, okay?
Well, what are pastelitos for people who don't know?
Pastelillos is a very Hispanic dough with meat in it and cheese. Some people like adding cheese, like us. We add beef and cheese.
Is it like a beef patty?
The concept is similar, but it's not the same thing. Beef patties are more like spicy, and the dough is very different. It's fried differently. I believe it's cooked completely different. But it does have meat in it, similar, but it's not the same thing. So it's made out of flour on the outside. Back in the day, my family used to use the disc that was already pre-made, or they would make it from scratch with flour, which is what I'm doing today. I'm using flour to make it from scratch, either all-purpose flour, which is an organic all-purpose flour, or I use the Jovial organic Inkhorn all-purpose flour.
I like that one.
They both work differently. For this, I think this one works a little better, but I've used both. It doesn't really
You got
matter.
better with making the other one though too.
This one?
Yeah. It's just a different flour. You got to know how to cook first before using that flour because you got to
Well,
tweak
it's not
things.
it's not gonna like mess anything up. It's just
Comes out different.
it's just different, and they're even different in color.
But it's not like that
And
spelt
grain.
flour. I can't stand when people use spelt
Yeah.
or ancient grains and
I don't have a lot of experience with.
7 greens, buckwheat. That's gonna come out different.
You can come
Not
down,
bad.
Mama.
All right. Well, this is the before. She's gonna get all the ingredients, and then I'm gonna pull up the after. What are we up to?
Trying to get my daughter involved. And I was gonna say earlier that the ground beef is grass-fed, and we use organic seasoning as well, organic adobo, garlic cubes, salt, pepper. Today I had to improvise. I'm making the dough with ghee, which I usually don't do. I don't usually make the dough with ghee. I usually make it with olive oil. But today I'm making it with ghee, which smells really good. It's not gonna be bad. I just don't normally use ghee for this part.
Look how yellow that is.
This is the Inkhorn flour, by the way. We decided to use that one because that one was a new pack and it was already 2 pounds of flour, which is exactly what I needed. Yeah, you're gonna help me make the balls right now, okay? I'm kneading it first, and then you're gonna make little balls for me, okay?
Alma, can you make me a special pastelillo? Me too.
You want a small one?
I want a big one.
Big one?
Yeah.
There.
This is cheddar, and that's mozzarella, buffalo mozzarella.
Oh, yeah. Look, I'm gonna put this. Make it circle. This is circle. Yeah. This is circle. This is circle.
Take some water on the edges, which helps it stick.
I do what I do.
So that they do not open. So this is definitely not the best example of how I really make them. So I'm not very proud of them, but I'm sure they taste good still. This is the one with cheese, this is no cheese.
Yummy
They look
pastelillos.
kind of rough, but they're good. She's already
They
eating
come
hers.
out amazing all the time.
Now I'm eating a mango.
Dominican.
This is our dessert for today. I love mangoes.
I will make this too.
I love mango too. Show them what salt we use. I add salt to everything. Did you add salt to your mango?
No.
We might go to the park. You want to go to the park? Or you want to walk around the block? Looking for JCPenney up there. I was on the set and the head stylist of the shoot, I'm not going to remember his name right now. I remember that.
How'd it go?
Well, I'm gonna be modeling again.
Cool.
And
As a 36-year-old.
is that the cutoff? The oldest model out there? I gotta lose weight.
They told you that?
No, that's how it is though. Not like get crackhead skinny. I'm never gonna get crackhead skinny. This is Texas, not New York. New York, you have to be bones.
So is it still fashion modeling? Is it the same?
Yeah, this is still fashion. There's different, there's a lot of different stuff, but that was the first thing I asked. I'm like, what's the industry like now? Because when I started, I was allowed to have muscles. Then you guys switched it on me and told me I had to get skinny. I wasn't allowed to have muscles. And if you notice, like back in the day, like you had like Fabio, right?
I don't know who that is.
The guy with long hair, the model with long hair. He was allowed to have muscles.
Okay.
So for me, it was like when I started modeling, I'm like, oh cool, I get to just be jacked and do what I want to do. And then they were like, nah. Like that would have been easy for me to just go to the gym every day and just lift weights. That's easy. But for you to actually do go to the gym and not lift weights,
Yeah.
that's torture. That's New York though. New York is like that. Paris is even worse than that. You have to be really skinny. You have to be able to fit everything. And
Look as least masculine as possible.
yeah. No, he said the industry here is different. It's a lot of commercial. It's not really like New York. I need you to take digital to me real quick. He said just take it with the iPhone and send it.
Okay.
And then the pay is better. The pay is way better.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised.
Because the
Because
industry.
why are all these people moving to New York then?
Because New York, it's up here. New York is hustle. You can make a big name for yourself in New York than you can in any other state.
Okay, so it's more about the
So,
recognition.
Exposure, you build a resume there, and then you can go and pitch that everywhere else. You can't do that like you can in New York. But it also comes with the struggle. And
Yeah.
then good luck paying your bills and surviving while trying to...
Yeah. And then the high cost of living over
but
there.
that's with everything. It's not
It's
just
crazy.
for modeling. It's everything. In New York, the experience you get in New York, you're not going to get like anywhere else.
Yeah.
Where, you go to Fashion Week in New York, you got to freaking run the castings, you got to freaking, the competition is huge in New York. If you can get through the competition there, you can get through it anyway. So I was telling him, he's like, yo, I saw your pictures and all that stuff, you did a lot, and I'm like, yo, that was like 16 years ago. How crazy is that? So I used to model and I stopped. Alba started YouTubing. We bounced around, we did a lot of stuff. Now we're in Texas. I see the struggle out here is getting crazy and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I can get back into modeling a little bit. Let me see what the industry is like over here. And modeling is so different. Before it was everything. I used to I met my wife in Abercrombie. I was modeling and the shirtless guy there. And then I said, girl, quit your job. And then she quit. And then I've been working ever since. I was out there working hard, man. I did a lot of jobs when I think about it. Because I was modeling, doing whatever shoots I was doing. And I was making money, I was doing good jobs. And then I was still working full-time jobs everywhere I went. I was still like, if it was retail, like Marc Jacobs, Prada, I worked at all those retail shops in freaking New York. All of them. Not just that, I recruited guys. If other models needed jobs, I would get them jobs at those stores. In 2014, we decided, cool, I'm not gonna work. I'm gonna learn everything about autism. And Alba's she's gonna be free to go do, build her brand. And she did, she killed her brand. And nobody can tell me nothing about autism.
Yeah, but the thing with that is that it became hard to be like a good housewife and mother while also doing both of those things, because when you're doing both, you're failing you're not doing your best at both, right? So if you're focusing more on one, you're failing in the other. If you're focusing more on the other, you're failing in the other, right? That's how it works naturally.
Yeah.
Naturally, it's going to work that way.
It's going to take a toll. Same thing with me. If I'm focusing on Manny, I wasn't focusing on our relationship. We just got married in 2013. So it was a lot of new stuff, like beginning stages of stuff that needed work, and they were just ignored. And to me, I didn't care. To me, it was like Manny's the most important thing, and that really damaged our relationship.
Yeah.
And then 2017, we weren't doing good. You know, you guys, she doesn't put any of this out there, but we're just talking real. 2017, this is the way God works. We had Alma, and in 2017, when we found out Alba was pregnant with Alma, this is what forced us to change. Like, this is the way God has worked. Our kids have been. She's gonna be doing a video on how our kids saved us, but that's just another example.
Sometimes, topic video.
Sometimes you either refuse to change, or you think that something could wait on being worked on, and then God sends you something to force you to work on it. And that's what happened in our situation yesterday.
I saw that ant over there.
You saw an ant?
And eating our food.
He's eating all of our food? That's why we're missing food?
Yeah.
Yeah, so now I'm getting back into modeling. You can see me in all the dad catalogs. I'm gonna be doing Home Depot. I'm gonna be doing Rent-A-Center, Tums, Alka-Seltzer, Pepto-Bismol. What do dads wear?
Tom's shoes, Clark's.
She said Clark's and Tom's. That's what dads wear. That's what dads wear in freaking Williamsburg. The hipster dads wear that. That's not what dad. That's not a dad look.
Oh, dads wear New Balance sneakers.
Okay, New Balance. If you're looking for a walk,
You could do some car insurance commercials.
car, life insurance. See, now we're talking.
What about a pharmaceutical company?
Drug company? Nah, I'm good. That's true. That's the dad thing now, right? Hey,
Drugs.
Hey, if you have erectile dysfunction, you might want to speak to your doctor.
With a side effect of
Symptoms might be.
you might lose your hair, and you'll be in the commercials like acting like everything's good, everything's happy, smiling.
You won't have erectile dysfunction no more. We'll see how it goes. Now we get to enjoy the rest of the day and go to the park. What's for dinner today, babe?
I have no idea. What do you want?
Chicken. I want chicken.
She wants chicken every day.
Who wants steak?
She wanted steak the other day. She asked for it.
Whose steak you want, mommy's or daddy's?
Daddy.
How do you feel about your husband going back to modeling or going back to work?
I don't know. I think it's a cool idea. For me, I have to see what it's going to be like now for me to know whether I like it or not.
Was it hard for you before to be with this guy running around to castings, photo shoots? How'd you feel with seeing him shoot with other women?
I wouldn't say it was hard. It was sometimes uncomfortable, but not so much because of you. I think it's depends on the person. So you as a person made me more comfortable with it because of the way that you were and the way that you secured me. And in my mind, I always saw it as you don't like models. You didn't allow your job to get into your head, and that's how I always saw you. So for me, it was just something you did. It wasn't something that you felt you were. Like, that was who you were. Whether it was true or not, that's what I believed. And that's what I still believe now.
No, back when I started, I was an idiot. After a while of us being together, it's like you realize right and wrong. You know, there's a life. There's a life that sells you, where it's image, money, you know, status. It sells you, you know. And then there's your part, right? Where, I'm with the guy who's doing this, you know? That gets to your head too, you know?
Mm-hmm. It does.
And it's empty.
From my own perspective, other people may show me, like, oh, that's so cool, you're with a guy that does this. It's that whole glorification thing, that whole status thing, right?
Yeah.
So in a way, it made me feel good. At the same time, I also knew that wasn't a huge accomplishment either. That's not what mattered. But I did let it get to my head. And I did think, this is so cool, you know, just because of that, just because of this whole status thing and how everybody else viewed it. I don't know how exactly I'll feel about it in today's time until I see how it goes, you know. I would like to focus more in today's time, motherhood and, you know, being a wife. So that does naturally mean I have to put less focus on my YouTube stuff. At the same time, I don't necessarily want to completely stop YouTube. I just want to try to find a better balance that puts more focus in my home life versus my online life. I have to figure that out because, like I said, if I'm putting too much focus on my online life, my mother and wife life starts to fail. It starts to go down. And if I put more focus on this one, then naturally the other one starts to fail a little bit and go down too. But I'd rather be up here with my home life, as a wife and a mother, and risk this one going down. That's the tough part with us, right? Because we do rely on my income from my online life, and I've already built something stable here. So we don't necessarily want to give it all up, but we want to find a better balance.
And the model life, I'm not speaking for everyone, but from my experience, it's not a place for someone who's married. Well, I don't say model life, New York model scene. Because over there, it's not just about work. It's the clubs, it's the nightlife, it's all that crap. You get drunk.
The lifestyle that comes along with it.
The industry itself is, woo! You want to talk about Me Too? Talk about He Too. If you guys want to hear stories
don't say
on, ooh, I could do it for Halloween. It's so scary.
It's too exposing.
Woo! You guys are watching all these videos online with people.
Weinstein and all that.
Not just Weinstein, that whole life where you see a celebrity or like basically people use their power, right? And they abuse their power, right? And hey, listen, some of these people in that signed up for it, a lot of these models, they're not victims. They knew what they were signing themselves up for. But, because I knew a lot of these guys, they got the job first.
We are doing one of my favorite things. This is a 1,000-piece Titanic puzzle. And I love doing this, but without technology, which is really cool.
Why aren't you watching TV?
I like watching TV too. Lately, we were watching Midnight Mass.
Ooh, cool message in it. I like movies with messages.
That make you think.
And it's a little relative to what's going on today. If you guys are interested, watch it. Midnight Mass is good. Utopia, if you guys haven't watched Utopia on Amazon Prime, watch that. That's all I'm gonna say. Very good, very good one.
I always tell people watch Utopia on Amazon. And
well, there's a
no one ever watches it.
There's a 2020 version, and then there's a 2014 version.
The UK version gives you 2 seasons.
If you're looking for the full version, that's a little bit more dry. That's the UK version, which I liked a lot more. If you're looking for like music and like in-your-face stuff, animation, then the US version that came out in 2020 is actually good. They were both good, but I like one better than the other. Alba liked the US version, 2021, better.
So there are 2 receptors on the pituitary which cause growth hormone release. There's the growth hormone releasing hormone receptor, but there's also a really tight correlation between IGF-1 levels and certain types of cancer.
Another day in the life.
It's like the most perfect weather today.
It's always the perfect weather in Austin.
Today in particular, it's like, as you can see, I'm wearing a cardigan, but it's not cold, and it's also not hot. It's like, I would say maybe 70-something degrees right now. But I'm only wearing a cardigan because in the shade it gets breezy. And when we go into stores, they're always blasting air conditioning. So today's my first day of my menstrual cycle. So
Fun fact.
it's one of those days for me.
We should show this whole park. This park is off the hook.
Yeah, the best park I've ever been to.
I don't want to film anybody's kids, and the park is packed right now. Alma came out in her full ballerina suit. Look at those curls. Woo! Shine, girl.
I do the lock method on her.
The lock method?
Yeah, the lock method, which is leave-in oil cream.
Sounds so dangerous. Manny always loves this swing.